Have you ever wondered why the universe is so cruel to us? Why does everything in space seem designed to kill us? Hold on. I'm going to tell you the main thing, but not just yet. Let's start with the backstory first. Because what I'm about to tell you will change the way you see everything around you. Forever. The first warning, let me start with something simple. Something you probably never think about. Right now, as you read this, you're traveling through space at 67,000 miles per hour. That's how fast Earth orbits the Sun. And you don't feel a thing. That's the first trick the universe plays on us. It makes us feel safe. It makes us feel like we're standing still. But we're not. We're hurtling through a cosmic shooting gallery at speeds that would make a bullet look slow. And here's the thing. The universe doesn't care that you can't feel it. It doesn't care that you think you're safe. Because you're not safe. You've never been safe. Not for a single second of your life. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to the really terrifying stuff soon. First, you need to understand how this all started. How we became targets 4.5 billion years ago. There was no Earth. No ground beneath your feet. No sky above your head. Just a cloud of dust and gas, spinning in the darkness. And the universe was already trying to kill us. Even before we existed. You see, that cloud of dust almost didn't become anything. It almost just scattered into space. Dissolved into nothing. The first attempt at Earth could have failed before it even began. One slight change in the cosmic wind, and none of us would be here. But somehow, against all odds, gravity pulled that dust together. Piece by piece. Atom by atom. It took millions of years. And during that entire time, the universe was throwing obstacles at us. Asteroids smashed into the growing planet. Radiation blasted it from nearby stars. The temperature swung from frozen to molten and back again. It was chaos. Pure, violent chaos. And you know what? That was the easy part. Because once Earth finally formed, once it became a solid ball of rock, the real attacks began. And they've never stopped. Not for one single day in 4.5 billion years. The sky is falling. Let's talk about asteroids for a moment. Most people know about the dinosaurs. They know that a big rock from space wiped them out 66 million years ago. One bad day, and the rulers of Earth were gone. Just like that. But here's what most people don't know. That wasn't unusual. That wasn't some rare, once-in-a-lifetime event. The universe has been dropping rocks on us since the beginning. And it's still doing it right now. Every single day, about 100 tons of space debris falls to Earth. Most of it burns up in the atmosphere. Tiny pieces. Dust. Nothing dangerous. But some of it makes it through. And some of those pieces are big. Very big. In 2013, a meteor exploded over Russia. It was only 20 meters wide. Just a small rock, cosmically speaking. But when it exploded, it released energy equal to 30 Hiroshima bombs. It shattered windows across 6 cities. It injured over 1,500 people. And nobody saw it coming. Nobody. We have telescopes pointed at the sky. We have satellites. We have computers tracking thousands of objects. And we still didn't see it. The universe sucker punched us, and we were completely blind. But here's the really scary part. We've only found about 40% of the near-Earth asteroids that could cause significant damage. That means 60% of the rocks that could destroy a city are still out there. Invisible. Untracked. Heading toward us right now, maybe. And we wouldn't know until it was too late. The dinosaurs had no warning. Just a normal day, and then the sky caught fire. Could happen to us tomorrow. Could happen in 100 years. Could happen while you're reading this sentence. The universe has bullets with our name on them. And we can't even see most of them coming. The star that betrays us, but asteroids are just the beginning. Let's talk about something bigger. Something you trust. Something you probably love. The sun. Beautiful, right? life-giving, warm, essential. We worship it. We write poems about it. We build our entire existence around it. Every plant, every animal, every human who has ever lived depended on that glowing ball in the sky. And it's trying to kill us. Not metaphorically. Not eventually. Right now. This very second, the sun is attacking Earth with everything it has. And the only thing keeping you alive is a thin magnetic field and some atmosphere. That's it. That's all that stands between you and instant death. The sun isn't just a friendly light in the sky. It's a massive nuclear furnace, exploding continuously, throwing radiation in every direction. X-rays. Gamma rays. Ultraviolet light that would cook your skin in minutes. Particle streams moving at millions of miles per hour. Solar flares that could fry every electronic device on Earth. All of that is hitting us right now. Constantly. Without pause. And sometimes, the sun gets angry. In 1859, something called the Carrington event happened. A massive solar storm hit Earth. It was so powerful that telegraph systems caught fire. Operators got electric shocks. The northern lights were visible in the Caribbean. People could read newspapers at midnight by aurora light alone. That was before we had power grids. Before we had satellites. Before we had computers. Before our entire civilization depended on electronics. If the Carrington event happened today, it would destroy everything. Every satellite would die. Every power transformer would melt. Every computer would fry. Billions of dollars in damage. Millions of people without power for months. Maybe years. And the sun could do it again tomorrow. Scientists estimate we have a 12% chance of another Carrington-level event hitting us within the next decade. Those aren't bad odds. Those are terrifying odds. Would you get on a plane if it had a 12% chance of crashing? But we don't have a choice. We're already on this plane. We're already in danger. And the pilot is a ball of nuclear fire that doesn't care if we live or die. And it gets worse. Because while the sun is attacking us every day, it's also planning our ultimate destruction. But we'll get to that. Soon. I promise. First, you need to understand that the threat isn't just above us. It's also beneath our feet. The ground wants to kill you. You probably think the Earth itself is on our side. It's our home, after all. It's where we evolved. Where we belong. Surely the planet that created us wouldn't try to hurt us. Wrong. Earth is one of the most dangerous places in the entire solar system. And I'm not talking about predators or diseases or other humans. I'm talking about the planet itself. The rock beneath your feet. The ground you walk on every single day. It's trying to kill you. Right now, under your feet, there's molten rock. Magma. Thousands of degrees hot. It's moving. Churning. Building pressure. And sometimes, that pressure finds a way out. We call them volcanoes. And they're everywhere. There are about 1,500 active volcanoes on Earth. And any one of them could erupt tomorrow. Without warning. Without mercy. In 1815, Mount Tambora erupted in Indonesia. It was the most powerful eruption in recorded history. It killed 71,000 people directly. But that wasn't the worst part. The ash it threw into the atmosphere was so thick that it blocked out the sun. Global temperatures dropped. Crops failed. 1816 became known as the year without a summer. Famine killed hundreds of thousands more. One volcano. One eruption. And the whole world suffered. But even that wasn't the worst volcano we've faced. And it's definitely not the worst one we will face. Because beneath Yellowstone National Park, there's something called a supervolcano. It's a monster. A sleeping giant. And it's overdue. Yellowstone erupts roughly every 600,000 years. The last eruption was 640,000 years ago. You do the math. When Yellowstone erupts, and scientists say it's not a question of if but when, it will be apocalyptic. It will throw so much ash into the air that it will cover half of the United States in several feet of debris. It will destroy crops worldwide. It will drop global temperatures by 10 degrees. It will kill millions. And we can't stop it. We can't even predict exactly when it will happen. We just know it will. The Earth is a ticking time bomb. We just don't know when the timer runs out. But volcanoes aren't the only way the ground tries to kill us. The Earth's crust is broken into pieces. Tectonic plates. And they're moving. Grinding against each other. Building up tension. And when that tension releases, the ground literally tears itself apart. Earthquakes. In 2004, an earthquake under the Indian Ocean triggered a tsunami that killed 230,000 people. In 2011, an earthquake in Japan created a tsunami that caused a nuclear meltdown. In Haiti, in Turkey, in Nepal, earthquakes have destroyed entire cities in seconds. And they can happen anywhere. Anytime. Without warning. You could be reading this, and the ground could start shaking. Your house could collapse. The street could split open. And there's nothing you could do. Nothing you could have done to prepare. The Earth just decided that right now, right here, it was time to shake. Time to break. Time to kill. But wait. We're not done. Because there's something even worse hiding in the Earth. Something that almost destroyed all life on this planet. Something that could do it again. And we wouldn't see it coming until it was too late. The ocean's secret weapon deep in the ocean, locked away in the mud at the bottom of the sea, there's methane. Lots of it. Billions of tons. Frozen in ice like crystals because of the pressure and cold. We call it methane hydrate. And it's been sitting there for millions of years. Waiting. Here's the thing about methane. It's a greenhouse gas. It traps heat in the atmosphere. But it's not just any greenhouse gas. It's 25 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. If all that methane suddenly got released into the air, the planet would warm so fast that nothing could survive. And it's happened before. 250 million years ago, something triggered the release of massive amounts of methane from the ocean floor. We call it the Permian extinction. The Great Dying. 96% of all marine species died. 70% of land vertebrates died. It was the closest life on Earth has ever come to complete extinction. The planet turned into a furnace. The oceans became acidic. Dead zones spread across the water. For millions of years, Earth was a wasteland. Empty. Silent. Dead. And it could happen again. Global warming is heating the oceans. The ice that keeps the methane frozen is melting. Slowly. Gradually. But melting. If we reach a tipping point, if enough methane gets released, it will trigger more warming. Which will release more methane. Which will cause more warming. A feedback loop that we cannot stop. A runaway train heading straight for extinction. The universe put a self-destruct button inside our planet. And we're getting closer to pressing it every single day. But maybe you're thinking, okay, Earth is dangerous. The sun is dangerous. Asteroids are dangerous. But we're smart. We can adapt. We can survive. We've made it this far, right? Sure. We have. But you need to understand something important. Something the universe has been trying to tell us all along. We weren't supposed to be here. The impossible chemistry of life. Let me explain what I mean. Life on Earth shouldn't exist. Not shouldn't like it's unlikely. Shouldn't like it defies all reasonable probability. Think about what life needs. Not just any life. Complex life. Intelligent life. Us. First, you need a planet. Not just any planet. A rocky planet. The right size. Too small, and it can't hold an atmosphere. Too big, and the gravity crushes everything. Earth is right in the middle. Goldilocks perfect. But that's just the start. You need to be the right distance from your star. Too close, and water boils away. Too far, and everything freezes. Earth is in the habitable zone. Perfect again. But wait. You also need the right kind of star. Too big, and it burns out before life can evolve. Too small, and it doesn't give enough energy. The sun is, once again, perfect. You need a large moon to stabilize your planet's tilt. Otherwise, the climate swings wildly and life can't get established. Earth has the moon. Perfect. You need a magnetic field to protect you from radiation. Earth has one. Perfect. You need tectonic plates to recycle nutrients. Earth has them. Perfect. You need a big planet nearby to catch most of the asteroids that would otherwise hit you. Earth has Jupiter. Perfect. You need the right mixture of elements. The right chemicals. The right temperature. The right pressure. Everything has to be perfect. And on Earth, somehow, everything is. The chances of all of this happening randomly. Astronomical. Some scientists say the odds are so low that Earth might be the only planet in the entire galaxy with intelligent life. So we got lucky, right? The universe accidentally created the perfect conditions for us. We're the winners of the cosmic lottery. Except here's what I think. I think the universe knew exactly what it was doing. I think it created the perfect environment for life on purpose. It dangled paradise in front of us. It made us think we were special. Safe. Protected. And then it started taking it all away. Because every single advantage Earth has, every single perfect condition, is temporary. And most of them are already starting to break down. The magnetic field is dying. Remember that magnetic field I mentioned? The one that protects us from solar radiation. The one that keeps the sun from stripping away our atmosphere and turning Earth into a lifeless desert like Mars. Yeah. It's failing. The magnetic field is generated by molten iron churning in Earth's core. It's been protecting us for billions of years. But it's not stable. It fluctuates. It shifts. And sometimes, it flips completely. North becomes south. South becomes north. The poles reverse. And during the flip, for anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand years, the magnetic field weakens dramatically. Sometimes it almost disappears. We call this a geomagnetic reversal. And it happens roughly every 200,000 to 300,000 years. The last one was 780,000 years ago. We're overdue. Way overdue. And there are signs it might be starting. The magnetic North Pole is moving. Fast. It's accelerating. In the past few decades, it's moved thousands of miles. The field is weakening. Parts of it are already failing. There's an area over South America called the South Atlantic Anomaly where the field is so weak that satellites malfunction when they pass through it. When the reversal happens, and it will happen, the consequences will be catastrophic. The atmosphere will be exposed to solar radiation. The ozone layer will be damaged. Cosmic rays will penetrate deeper. Cancer rates will skyrocket. Satellites will fail. GPS will stop working. Power grids will collapse. Communications will die. And we can't stop it. We can't even slow it down. We can only watch as our shield slowly disappears. The universe gave us protection. And now it's taking it away. The moon is leaving. Remember the moon? Our constant companion. The reason our planet is stable. The reason we have regular seasons. The reason the ocean tides work. The reason life could evolve in the first place. It's leaving us. Every year, the moon moves about 1.5 inches farther from Earth. Doesn't sound like much, does it? But it adds up. In a few billion years, the moon will be so far away that it won't stabilize Earth anymore. Our planet's tilt will start to wobble. Wildly. The climate will go insane. Seasons will become unpredictable. Ice ages will come and go randomly. Life as we know it will become impossible. And there's nothing we can do about it. The moon is drifting away, slowly but surely, and we're powerless to stop it. The universe gave us a partner. A protector. And now it's pulling it away, inch by inch, year by year. We can only watch as our guardian abandons us. Wait, it gets worse now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, these things are far in the future. We have time. We can figure something out. Technology will save us. We'll colonize other planets. We'll survive. Maybe. But the universe isn't done with us yet. Not even close. Because all of those threats I just mentioned, they're nothing compared to what's happening in the wider universe. We've been talking about dangers that are close. Earth. The Sun. The solar system. But zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. Look at what's happening in the galaxy. In the universe itself. And you'll realize something terrifying. We're not just in danger. We're surrounded by it. We're trapped in a cosmic war zone. And the weapons being used are so powerful, so destructive, that they make asteroids and volcanoes look like toys. Let me tell you about the things in space that could destroy us without warning. Without us ever seeing it coming. The things that make the sun's tantrums look gentle. Gamma ray bursts. The universe's shotgun somewhere in the universe, right now, a star is dying. It's not just dying. It's collapsing. Its core is imploding. And in the last seconds of its life, it's going to release more energy than our sun will produce in its entire 10 billion year lifetime. We call it a gamma ray burst. And it's the most powerful explosion in the universe. When a massive star collapses, it creates a black hole. And as matter falls into that black hole, it shoots out jets of radiation from the poles. Gamma rays. Moving at the speed of light. Focused like a laser beam. Deadly across thousands of light years. If one of these bursts hit Earth, we'd be dead before we knew what happened. The gamma rays would strip away the ozone layer instantly. They'd create nitrogen dioxide in the atmosphere, turning the sky brown. They'd cause global cooling. They'd destroy the food chain. They'd kill everything. And we wouldn't see it coming. Gamma rays move at light speed. We'd see the light from the explosion at the same instant the deadly radiation hit us. No warning. No time to prepare. Just instant extinction. The scariest part? We think a gamma ray burst might have caused one of Earth's mass extinctions already. The Ordovician extinction, 450 million years ago, killed 85% of all species. No asteroid. No volcano. Just a burst of radiation from space. A star died somewhere in the galaxy, and its death scream murdered an entire planet. It could happen again tomorrow. There are several stars in our galaxy that could produce gamma ray bursts. And if one of them is pointed at us when it goes off, we're done. Game over. The universe wins. But at least gamma ray bursts come from stars we can see. We can identify which stars might be dangerous. We can watch them. We can hope they're not pointed at us. There's something else out there that we can't see. Something we can't track. Something that could destroy our entire solar system without warning. And we only discovered it exists a few years ago. Black holes are everywhere. You probably think black holes are rare. Special. Exotic objects that exist far away in distant galaxies. And some of them are. The supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies. The ones millions or billions of times heavier than the sun. But there's another kind of black hole. Smaller. Much more common. Stellar mass black holes. Created when large stars die. And they're everywhere. Hundreds of millions of them in our galaxy alone. Maybe billions. And we can't see most of them. Unless they're actively eating something, unless they're sucking in matter and giving off radiation, they're invisible. Just holes in space. Waiting. What happens if one passes through our solar system? What happens if one of these invisible monsters comes close to Earth? It would destroy everything. The gravity would tear planets apart. It would disrupt orbits. It would fling worlds into deep space or send them crashing into the sun. If it came close enough to Earth, it would rip the planet apart through tidal forces. The ground would stretch and compress like taffy. The oceans would boil. The atmosphere would be stripped away. And we wouldn't know it was coming until it was right on top of us. By the time we detected it, it would be too late. We'd have days, maybe weeks. Not enough time to do anything. Just enough time to realize we're about to die. The universe is full of invisible bullets. Black holes drifting through the galaxy. And we're sitting ducks. But even if we avoid gamma-ray bursts, even if we avoid rogue black holes, even if we dodge every asteroid and survive every solar storm, the universe has one final trick up its sleeve. One last way to kill us. And this one is guaranteed. Absolutely certain. No escape possible. The sun is going to murder us. Slowly. Personally. And we're going to watch it happen. The sun's retirement plan. Remember when I said the sun is trying to kill us right now? Well, that's just practice. The real show hasn't started yet. The sun is about 4.6 billion years old. It's a middle-aged star. In about 5 billion years, it's going to start dying. And when it does, it's going to take us with it. Here's what will happen. The sun will run out of hydrogen in its core. It will start burning helium instead. This will make it expand. Grow. Swell up like a balloon. It will become a red giant. And it will swallow the inner planets. Mercury. Venus. Probably Earth. But we'll be dead long before that. Because as the sun expands, it will get brighter. Hotter. In about 1 billion years, maybe a bit more, Earth will become too hot for liquid water. The oceans will evaporate. The atmosphere will fill with steam. The greenhouse effect will run away. Earth will become like Venus. A burning hell. Temperatures over 800 degrees. Nothing alive. Nothing green. Just rocks and heat and death. 1 billion years. Sounds like a long time, right? But it's not. Not really. Life on Earth took 3.5 billion years to produce us. We only have 1 billion years left. Maybe less. We're in the final act of Earth's story. The clock is ticking. And there's no way to stop it. The sun gave us life. And the sun will take it away. That's the deal. That's what the universe planned from the beginning. We were always temporary. We were always doomed. But maybe, just maybe, we can escape. We can leave Earth. We can go to other planets. Other star systems. We can spread across the galaxy. We can survive even if Earth dies. Right. Right. Space doesn't want us either. Let me tell you something about space. About the universe beyond our little planet. Something we learned the hard way when we started sending people and probes out there. Space is not empty. Space is not peaceful. Space is not neutral. Space is actively hostile to life. It wants to kill you in so many different ways that it's almost impressive. First, there's the radiation. I mentioned solar radiation. But that's nothing compared to what's in deep space. Cosmic rays. High-energy particles moving at nearly the speed of light. They come from supernovae, from black holes, from quasars. They're everywhere. And they tear through biological tissue like bullets. They damage DNA. They cause cancer. They destroy cells. On Earth, we're protected. The atmosphere stops most of them. The magnetic field deflects the rest. But in space, you're exposed. Every second, you're being shot at by invisible particles. Every second, your body is being damaged at the molecular level. The longer you stay in space, the more damage you take. Astronauts on the International Space Station, protected by Earth's magnetic field, still receive more radiation in 6 months than the average person receives in a lifetime. Imagine going to Mars. A trip that takes 9 months or more. Each way. No protection. No magnetic field. Just you and the cosmic rays. You'd arrive at Mars already sick. Already damaged. Your risk of cancer would be through the roof. Your brain would be affected. Your vision would deteriorate. Your bones would be weak. Your muscles would be wasted. And that's assuming you survive the trip. Because radiation isn't the only problem. There's also microgravity. Your body evolved in gravity. Your bones need resistance to stay strong. Your muscles need to work against weight. Your heart needs to pump blood upward. In space, none of that happens. Your bones start dissolving. You lose about 1% of your bone mass per month in space. Your muscles atrophy. Your heart weakens. Your eyes change shape because fluid redistributes in your body. Your immune system stops working properly. Astronauts who spend 6 months in space have to relearn how to walk when they come back. They're weak. They're sick. They need months of rehabilitation. And that's just from 6 months in low Earth orbit, relatively close to home. Now imagine living in space permanently. Living on Mars. Living on a space station. Your body would break down. Your health would fail. You'd be a shadow of what you were on Earth. And your children, if you had any, would be even worse off. They'd grow up in low gravity. Their bodies would never develop properly. They'd be weak. Fragile. Unable to ever visit Earth because the gravity would crush them. We're prisoners of our own planet. Our bodies are designed for Earth. Only Earth. Nowhere else in the solar system is suitable for us. We can visit space. We can survive there for a while. But we can't live there. Not really. Not for long. Not without slowly dying. The universe made sure of that. The speed limit of the universe, but okay, fine. Maybe Mars is hard. Maybe living in space is hard. But we're clever. We're adaptable. We'll figure it out. We'll build better ships. Better habitats. And we'll go to other stars. Other solar systems. There must be other Earth-like planets out there. We'll find them. We'll settle them. We'll escape this dying solar system and spread across the galaxy. Except there's one problem. One enormous, insurmountable problem that makes interstellar travel almost impossible. The universe is too big. And we're too slow. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. It's the speed limit of the universe. Nothing can go faster. Einstein proved it. It's not a technological limitation. It's a law of physics. A fundamental property of reality. The speed of light is the maximum speed anything can travel. And even at that speed, the universe is mind-bogglingly huge. The nearest star to us, Proxima Centauri, is 4.24 light-years away. That means light takes 4.24 years to travel from there to here. And light is the fastest thing possible. Our fastest spacecraft, Voyager 1, is traveling at about 38,000 miles per hour. Sounds fast, right? At that speed, it would take 70,000 years to reach Proxima Centauri. 70,000 years. That's longer than recorded human history. That's longer than our species has existed in its current form. And Proxima Centauri is the closest star. The next closest is twice as far. And the galaxy is 100,000 light-years across. And there are billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, spread across billions of light-years. The universe is so big that even if we could travel at the speed of light, which we can't, it would still take lifetimes to go anywhere. And we can't travel at the speed of light. We can't even get close. The fastest we can hope for, with realistic technology, is maybe 10% of light speed. Maybe. That means a trip to Proxima Centauri would take 40 years. One way. You'd leave Earth in your youth and arrive in old age. If you survived. And that's the closest star. Going anywhere interesting would take centuries. Millennia. The universe spread everything out. It put vast, empty gulfs between the stars. It made sure that even if we developed technology, even if we became a spacefaring species, we'd still be trapped. Isolated. Alone. It's like being in a prison cell where you can see the outside world, but the walls are made of distance. Unbreachable. Uncrossable. You can look at the stars and dream. But you can never reach them. Not really. Not in any meaningful way. The universe dangled paradise in front of us. It showed us billions of stars. Trillions of planets. Endless possibilities. And then it made sure we could never reach any of it. The Great Filter. There's a concept in science called the Fermi paradox. It goes like this. The universe is old. Really old. 13.8 billion years. And it's huge. Billions of galaxies. Billions of stars in each galaxy. Probably trillions of planets. So where is everyone? Where are all the aliens? Where are the advanced civilizations? Where are the spaceships, the signals, the evidence of intelligent life? We've been listening for decades. We've been looking. And we found nothing. Silence. Complete, total silence. The universe appears to be empty. Why? Some scientists think there's something called the Great Filter. A barrier. A challenge so difficult that almost no civilization gets past it. Something that kills intelligent life before it can spread across the stars. Maybe it's nuclear war. Maybe it's climate change. Maybe it's artificial intelligence. Maybe it's something we haven't even thought of yet. But here's the terrifying possibility. Maybe the Great Filter isn't ahead of us. Maybe we've already passed it. Maybe the hard part was evolving intelligence in the first place. Maybe we're the lucky ones. The winners. The ones who made it. And if that's true, if we're alone in the universe, then it means something else. It means the universe is a dead place. A tomb. A wasteland of empty planets orbiting cold stars. And we're the only flicker of consciousness in an ocean of darkness. That's almost worse than being hated. That's being forgotten. Being irrelevant. Being alone in a way so profound that there's no word for it. The universe didn't just make it hard for us to survive. It made sure we'd be alone if we did. No help. No friends. No one to answer our calls. Just us, on our little planet, shouting into the void. And the void doesn't answer. It never answers. But let's say we make it okay. Let's be optimistic for a moment. Let's say we solve all these problems. We figure out nuclear fusion. We build better spacecraft. We find a way to protect ourselves from radiation. We set up colonies on Mars, on the Moon, on asteroids. We spread through the solar system. We survive the death of Earth. We even figure out how to travel to other stars. We become a true spacefaring civilization. We endure. We persist. We refuse to die. The universe still wins. Because there's one final threat. One ultimate ending that we cannot avoid, cannot escape, cannot overcome. The heat death of the universe. The end of everything. Here's what we know about the universe. It's expanding. Galaxies are moving away from each other. And the expansion is accelerating. Getting faster. Being pushed by something we call dark energy. This means that eventually, billions of years from now, the universe will become cold and dark. Stars will burn out. New stars will stop forming. Black holes will evaporate. Atoms themselves will decay. Everything will cool down to near absolute zero. All energy will be evenly distributed. No differences in temperature. No gradients. No way to do work. No life. No thought. No consciousness. Nothing. Just cold, empty space, devoid of anything interesting, lasting forever. This is called the heat death of the universe. The final ending. The ultimate fate of everything. And it's inevitable. The laws of physics guarantee it. Entropy always increases. Energy always spreads out. Eventually, there's nothing left. Just maximum entropy. Heat death. All the struggles, all the achievements, all the civilizations that might exist, all the thoughts and dreams and loves and fears. All of it will end. Not in fire. Not in an explosion. But in a slow fade to nothing. A whimper, not a bang. The universe made sure that even if we survive everything else, even if we conquer the galaxy, even if we become gods, we still lose in the end. Death is baked into the fundamental laws of reality. The game is rigged. The house always wins. And we can't change it. We can't stop it. We can't even slow it down. We can only watch as everything slowly dies. As the stars burn out, one by one. As the universe grows cold and dark and silent. Forever. So why? Which brings us back to the original question. Why? Why does the universe hate us? Why did it create us only to surround us with danger? Why did it give us intelligence, consciousness, the ability to understand our own mortality, only to make that mortality inevitable? I don't know if hate is the right word. Maybe the universe doesn't hate us. Maybe it's indifferent. Maybe we're just an accident. A fluke. A brief sparkle of complexity in an ocean of entropy. But it sure feels like hate, doesn't it? It feels personal. It feels like the universe is laughing at us. Like it's enjoying our struggle. Like it set up an elaborate trap and we walked right into it. We're born on a planet that's trying to kill us. Orbiting a star that's trying to kill us. In a solar system full of rocks that could hit us at any moment. In a galaxy full of radiation and black holes and exploding stars. In a universe that's expanding toward heat death. We're fragile. We're temporary. We're doomed. And we know it. That's the cruelest part. We're smart enough to understand that we're going to die. As individuals, as a species, as everything. We can see our own extinction coming. We can calculate it. We can predict it. And we can't stop it. The beauty in the struggle, but here's the thing. Here's what I've been building up to. Here's the main point I promised you at the beginning. Maybe the universe doesn't hate us. Maybe it loves us. In its own twisted, terrible way. Think about it. If life was easy, what would be the point? If we lived in a safe, comfortable universe where nothing could hurt us, where would the meaning come from? Where would the drive come from? What would we strive for? The universe made us fragile. It put us in danger. It surrounded us with threats. And in doing so, it gave us purpose. It gave us something to fight against. It gave us a reason to be clever, to be brave, to work together, to never give up. Every challenge the universe threw at us made us stronger. Every near extinction forced us to adapt. Every danger taught us something new. We exist because we learned how to survive in a hostile universe. We're tough because we had to be. We're smart because stupidity meant death. The universe is a forge. And we're being hammered into something greater. We're still here. Think about everything I've told you. All the ways the universe has tried to kill us. All the catastrophes we've faced. All the existential threats hanging over our heads. And yet, we're still here. Asteroids have hit us. We survived. Volcanoes have erupted. We survived. Ice ages came and went. We survived. Plagues killed millions. We survived. We've had nuclear weapons for 80 years and we haven't destroyed ourselves yet. Every single human who has ever lived, every single one of your ancestors going back millions of years, survived long enough to reproduce. An unbroken chain of survival stretching back to the first life on Earth. Billions of years of not dying. And you're the latest link in that chain. You exist because your ancestors were tough. They were smart. They were lucky. They refused to die. And that's in you too. That strength. That stubbornness. That refusal to give up. The universe has been trying to kill us for 4.5 billion years. And we're winning. So far, at least, we're winning. The things we've accomplished, let's take a moment to appreciate what we've done. What humanity has achieved despite everything the universe threw at us. We went from caves to cities. From fire to nuclear power. From walking to flying to leaving the planet entirely. We went to the moon. We sent robots to Mars. We've sent probes to the edge of the solar system and beyond. We split the atom. We decoded DNA. We built computers that can think. We connected the entire world with invisible signals. We eradicated diseases. We extended our lifespans. We've turned a hostile planet into a home for 8 billion people. And we did it all while dodging asteroids, surviving ice ages, and fighting off the sun's radiation. We did it on a planet that earthquakes and volcanoes. We did it despite wars and famines and plagues. We're incredibly fragile. A tiny change in temperature kills us. A few days without water kills us. A few weeks without food kills us. We can't survive underwater. We can't survive in space. We can't even survive in most of Earth without shelter and clothing. And yet we've conquered the world. We've bent nature to our will. We've turned our weaknesses into strengths. We can't fly. We built airplanes. We can't breathe underwater. We built submarines. We can't survive in space. We built space stations. The universe made us weak. And we said no. We refused to accept it. We used our intelligence to overcome our limitations. We used tools. We used cooperation. We used stubbornness. We're not the strongest species. We're not the fastest. We're not the biggest. But we're the smartest. And in the end, that mattered more than anything else. The cosmic perspective here's something beautiful. Something I want you to understand. You are made of stars. Literally. Every atom in your body, except for hydrogen, was forged in the heart of a star. The carbon in your cells. The iron in your blood. The calcium in your bones. All of it was created by nuclear fusion in stars that lived and died billions of years ago. Those stars exploded in supernovae. They scattered their atoms across space. Those atoms drifted. They gathered. They became part of the cloud that formed our solar system. They became part of Earth. They became part of you. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Carl Sagan said that. And it's true. The universe spent billions of years creating you. It had to make stars. It had to make those stars explode. It had to make planets. It had to make life. It had to wait for evolution to do its work. Billions of years of cosmic history led to this moment. Led to you. Reading these words. You are not separate from the universe. You are part of it. You are a piece of the cosmos that became conscious. That can think. That can wonder. That can ask why. And maybe that's what the universe wanted all along. Maybe it wanted to be aware of itself. Maybe it wanted to experience beauty and meaning and love. Maybe it wanted to understand itself. And to do that, it needed us. It needed consciousness. It needed intelligence. It needed life. So maybe the universe doesn't hate us. Maybe it needs us. Maybe we're the universe's way of waking up. Of becoming aware. Of having purpose. The paradox of meaning. But wait. Remember what I said about heat death? About the end of everything. If the universe is going to end in cold, empty darkness, if everything we do is ultimately meaningless, why does any of this matter? Here's what I think. Meaning doesn't come from eternity. Meaning comes from the moment. From right now. From the fact that we exist at all, even if it's temporary. A song doesn't need to last forever to be beautiful. A sunset doesn't need to be permanent to be meaningful. A life doesn't need to be eternal to matter. We exist now. We think now. We feel now. We love now. And that's enough. That has to be enough. Because it's all we have. The universe gave us this moment. This brief flicker of consciousness in the cosmic dark. And what we do with it, how we spend it, that's up to us. We can despair. We can give up. We can focus on all the ways the universe is trying to kill us. Or we can marvel. We can appreciate the incredible unlikeliness of our existence. We can celebrate the fact that we're here at all. Against all odds. Against the hostility of space. Against the violence of our planet. Against the indifference of the cosmos. We exist. We think. We dream. We love. That's not nothing. That's everything. The real threat, you know what the universe really hates? Boring. Stagnant. Static. Unchanging. The universe loves change. It loves complexity. It loves things that push boundaries. Things that evolve. Things that adapt. Things that refuse to stay the same. That's what entropy really means. It doesn't mean everything decays. It means everything changes. Energy spreads out. Things mix. Complexity emerges and then dissolves and then emerges again in new forms. The universe is a story. And stories need conflict. They need challenges. They need obstacles to overcome. A story where nothing bad happens is boring. Meaningless. Forgettable. The universe put us in danger because that's what makes us interesting. That's what makes us matter. That's what gives our story weight. Every species that went extinct, every civilization that fell, every star that burned out, they're all part of the story. They're all chapters in the epic of the cosmos. And we're writing our chapter right now. Will we survive? Will we spread across the stars? Will we find other life? Will we solve the mysteries of dark matter and dark energy? Will we figure out how to outlast our sun? Will we find a way to escape heat death itself? I don't know. Nobody knows. That's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it matter. The universe gave us free will. It gave us intelligence. It gave us the ability to change our own fate. And then it gave us challenges worthy of those gifts. The hidden kindness, let me tell you something else. Something most people never think about. The universe could have made things worse. Much worse. It could have made us unable to understand our situation. It could have made us too dumb to figure out the dangers. It could have kept us ignorant until it was too late. But it didn't. It gave us intelligence. It gave us curiosity. It gave us the ability to see the threats coming. We can track asteroids. We can predict solar storms. We can study volcanoes. We can understand climate change. We know about the dangers of space. We know the sun will die. We know about heat death. The universe gave us the tools to see our own doom. And in doing so, it gave us the possibility of avoiding it. It gave us a fighting chance. That's not hatred. That's respect. The universe is challenging us. It's saying, I'm going to throw everything at you. Let's see what you're made of. Let's see if you can survive. And so far, we have. Against incredible odds, we have. And maybe, just maybe, we'll keep surviving. Keep adapting. Keep pushing forward. The choice here's the truth I've been dancing around. The universe doesn't hate us. The universe doesn't love us. The universe doesn't think about us at all. Because the universe isn't a person. It's not conscious. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't have intentions. The universe is just physics. Just laws of nature. Just cause and effect playing out on a cosmic scale. It's not trying to kill us. It's not trying to help us. It's just existing. Doing what the laws of physics say it should do. But here's the thing. Even though the universe isn't conscious, even though it doesn't care, we can still find meaning in it. We can still find beauty. We can still find purpose. Because meaning doesn't come from the universe. It comes from us. We create meaning. We assign value. We decide what matters. The universe is hostile. Fine. We'll adapt. The universe is trying to kill us. Fine. We'll survive. The universe is vast and empty and indifferent. Fine. We'll make our own meaning. We'll create our own purpose. We'll decide what's important. That's the power of consciousness. That's the gift of intelligence. We're not just passive victims of cosmic forces. We're active participants. We can choose. We can decide. We can act. The universe gave us challenges. We get to decide how we respond. The answer: so why does the universe seem to hate us? Why is everything trying to kill us? Because we're not supposed to be passive. We're not supposed to be safe. We're not supposed to be comfortable. We're supposed to struggle. We're supposed to strive. We're supposed to push ourselves to be better, stronger, smarter. The universe is a test. And we're taking it right now. Every single day. Every choice we make. Every problem we solve. Every disaster we survive. Every step forward we take. And maybe that's what consciousness is for. Maybe that's why we exist. Not to be safe. Not to be comfortable. But to face impossible odds and try anyway. To look at the vastness of space and say, I'm going out there. To see our own mortality and say, I'm going to make my time matter. The universe doesn't hate us. It made us into warriors. Into survivors. Into beings who refuse to give up no matter how bad things get. And when I think about it that way, when I really understand what we are and what we've accomplished, I don't feel despair. I feel pride. I feel awe. I feel grateful. Grateful to be alive in this moment. Grateful to be conscious. Grateful to be part of this incredible, improbable, beautiful struggle called life. The moment we're in right now, as you read this, you're traveling through space at 67,000 miles per hour. You're spinning on a planet that's orbiting a star that's orbiting a black hole at the center of a galaxy that's flying through the universe at hundreds of miles per second. You're being bombarded by cosmic rays. You're being protected by a magnetic field that's slowly dying. You're living on a thin layer of rock floating on an ocean of magma. You're breathing an atmosphere that's held down by gravity, while the sun tries to blast it away into space. You're alive. Against all odds. Despite everything. In defiance of entropy itself. And you know what? That makes you amazing. That makes you special. Not because the universe loves you. But because you exist anyway. Because you refuse to not exist. Because somewhere in the cosmic chaos, atoms organize themselves into you. And you're aware of it. You understand it. You're conscious of your own existence. That's incredible. That's miraculous. That's beautiful. The future nobody knows. I've told you about all the threats. All the dangers. All the ways the universe could destroy us. But here's what I haven't told you. Here's the part nobody knows. What if we win? What if we actually do it? What if we survive everything the universe throws at us? What if we spread across the solar system? What if we reach the stars? What if we find other life? What if we become something greater than we can currently imagine? We're already doing things our ancestors couldn't dream of. We're living longer. We're curing diseases. We're exploring space. We're building artificial intelligence. We're manipulating genes. We're creating new materials. We're solving problems that seemed impossible just decades ago. What will we accomplish in 100 years? In 1,000? In 1,000,000? We might become unrecognizable. We might merge with our technology. We might engineer ourselves to survive in space. We might create new forms of consciousness. We might find ways to travel to other stars. We might discover things about the universe that we can't even conceive of right now. The universe is vast and old and full of mysteries. And we're just getting started. We've only been doing science for a few hundred years. We've only been in space for a few decades. We've only just begun to understand what's out there. What if this hostility, this constant threat of death, is actually pushing us to become something incredible? What if the struggle is the point? What if we're being forged into something that can eventually transcend all these limitations? What if the universe isn't trying to kill us? What if it's trying to make us stronger? What if it's training us? Preparing us? Getting us ready for something bigger? Something we can't yet imagine. The pattern in the chaos. Look at evolution. Look at how life adapts. Every challenge creates pressure. And that pressure drives change. Drives improvement. Drives innovation. Life started in the ocean. Then some brave organisms crawled onto land. They faced new dangers. Desiccation. Temperature extremes. Predators. But they adapted. They evolved lungs. They evolved skin that could retain moisture. They evolved ways to regulate their temperature. And they thrived. Then some organisms took to the air. Again, new dangers. Falling. Crashing. Predators. But they adapted. They evolved wings. They evolved light bones. They evolved incredible eyesight. And they thrived. Now we're trying to go to space. New dangers. Radiation. Vacuum. Distance. But we're adapting. We're building technology. We're learning. We're evolving, not biologically but technologically and culturally. And maybe, eventually, we'll thrive there too. Every time life faces a new environment, a new challenge, a new threat, it finds a way. It adapts. It overcomes. It thrives. That's what life does. That's what we do. The universe keeps raising the difficulty level. And we keep leveling up. That's not hatred. That's evolution. That's growth. That's the universe pushing us to become more than we are. The responsibility. Here's something heavy. Something important. If we are alone in the universe, if we're the only conscious beings in this vast cosmos, then we have a responsibility. An obligation. To survive. To persist. To endure. Because if we die, if humanity goes extinct, if consciousness disappears from the universe, then something precious is lost. Something irreplaceable. The universe would become dark again. Empty again. Meaningless again. We might be the universe's only way of knowing itself. We might be the only way the cosmos can experience beauty, can understand mathematics, can contemplate its own existence. If we fail, if we give up, if we let the universe win, then all of this complexity, all this order, all this beauty, it's wasted. It's gone. Forever. That's a heavy burden. But it's also an incredible privilege. We matter. We actually matter. Not because some god said so. Not because of some cosmic plan. But because we're conscious. We're aware. We're the universe waking up. And if we die, the universe goes back to sleep. So we can't give up. We can't surrender. We can't let the universe win. Not because we hate it. But because we love existence. We love consciousness. We love the fact that we get to be here, to think, to feel, to experience this incredible cosmic adventure. The small things matter. But you know what? It's not just about saving humanity. It's not just about surviving the apocalypse. It's not just about spreading across the stars. Those are big things. Important things. But they're far away. Abstract. Future problems. Right now, in this moment, what matters is smaller. More immediate. More human. It matters that you're kind to someone today. It matters that you create something. It matters that you learn something new. It matters that you connect with someone. It matters that you help someone. It matters that you experience joy, or beauty, or love. Because that's what consciousness is for. Not just to survive, but to experience. to feel, to be aware of the miracle of existence. The universe is vast and cold and hostile. But you're warm. You're alive. You're conscious. And you have the power to create meaning, to create beauty, to create joy, even in the face of cosmic indifference. Every act of kindness is a rebellion against entropy. Every moment of happiness is a victory against the void. Every connection between people is proof that consciousness matters, that we matter, that this all means something. The universe might be trying to kill us. But right now, in this moment, we're alive. And we can choose what that means. The ultimate paradox. Here's the final twist. The ultimate paradox. The thing that makes all of this both beautiful and terrible. The universe is hostile to life. It's filled with danger. It's trying to kill us. And because of that, because of the struggle, because of the challenge, life becomes meaningful. Consciousness becomes precious. Existence becomes beautiful. If everything was safe, if nothing could hurt us, if we lived forever without effort, would any of it matter? Would we appreciate it? Would we treasure it? The universe gave us mortality to make life precious. It gave us danger to make survival meaningful. It gave us challenges to make our achievements remarkable. It gave us limitations to make our creativity possible. It gave us death to make life matter. That's not hatred. That's wisdom. That's the most profound gift the universe could possibly give us. The knowledge that our time is limited. That we have to make it count. That every moment matters precisely because it won't last forever. We exist in defiance of the universe. We are order in chaos. We are meaning in randomness. We are life in a cosmos that mostly contains death. We are consciousness in a universe that's mostly unconscious. And that makes us special. Not because we're better than anything else. But because we're unlikely. We're improbable. We're a beautiful accident. A cosmic fluke. A moment of the universe looking at itself and saying, I exist. I think. I am. The call to action. So what do we do with this knowledge? What do we do knowing that the universe is hostile, that we're doomed in the long run, that everything we build will eventually crumble? We live anyway. We fight anyway. We create anyway. We love anyway. We persist anyway. Because that's what humans do. We see the impossible and we try anyway. We see the inevitable and we resist anyway. We see the void and we fill it with meaning anyway. We've been doing it for thousands of years. Building civilizations knowing they'll fall. Creating art knowing it will fade. Loving people knowing we'll lose them. Having children knowing they'll face all the same struggles we did. And we do it because the alternative is giving up. And giving up is not an option. Giving up is letting the universe win. And we don't let anyone or anything win without a fight. Every human who has ever lived fought this battle. Against death. Against decay. Against entropy. Against the indifference of the cosmos. And they passed that fight on to us. And will pass it on to whoever comes after us. That's the human legacy. Not buildings or books or monuments. But the refusal to quit. The stubborn insistence that we matter. The determination to create meaning in a meaningless universe. The courage to love despite loss. The audacity to hope despite despair. The final truth. Here's what I really believe. Deep down. After thinking about all of this. After contemplating the vastness of space and the hostility of the universe and the fragility of life. The universe doesn't hate us. The universe created us. It spent billions of years making us. It made stars to forge our atoms. It made planets to give us a home. It made evolution to shape us. It made everything just right so that we could exist. And then it made life hard so we'd appreciate it. It made survival difficult so we'd treasure it. It made death inevitable so we'd make our lives meaningful. The universe is not our enemy. It's our forge. Our teacher. Our challenge. And maybe, in some strange way, our parent. Tough love on a cosmic scale. It's saying, I made you. Now show me what you can do. I've given you intelligence. I've given you consciousness. I've given you the ability to understand the cosmos. Now prove you deserve these gifts. Survive. Thrive. Become something amazing. And we are. We're doing it right now. Against all odds. Despite everything. In defiance of probability itself. We exist. We think. We dream. We create. We love. We explore. We question. We persist. The universe made us into warriors and we're winning the war. We made us into thinkers and we're solving the puzzles. It made us into dreamers and we're reaching for the stars. Does the universe hate us? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's testing us. Maybe it's preparing us. Maybe it's challenging us to become something greater. Or maybe the universe doesn't care at all. Maybe it's just physics. Just chemistry. Just math playing itself out. But it doesn't matter. Because whether the universe hates us or loves us or ignores us, we're here. We exist. We're conscious. We're alive. And that's enough. That has to be enough. That is enough. The end. Or the beginning. I told you at the start that I'd explain why the universe hates us. From A to Z. Every reason. Every way it's trying to kill us. And I did. Asteroids. Solar storms. Volcanoes. Earthquakes. Gamma ray bursts. Black holes. Radiation. The death of the sun. The heat death of the universe. All of it. But here's what I really told you. I told you that despite all of this, despite every possible thing that could go wrong, we're still here. We're surviving. We're thriving. We're growing. The universe might hate us. But we're tougher than the universe expected. We're smarter. We're more stubborn. We're more creative. We're more determined. The universe said, nothing can survive in space. We built space stations. The universe said, nothing can escape gravity. We built rockets. The universe said, you can't split the atom. We built nuclear power. The universe said, you can't communicate across the world instantly. We built the internet. Every time the universe says no, we find a way to say yes. Every time it puts up a wall, we find a door. Or we build one. Or we knock the wall down. That's the human spirit. That's what we are. That's what we do. We face the impossible and we make it possible. We see the end coming and we fight to delay it. We know we're going to die and we live anyway. The universe doesn't hate us. It respects us. It has to. Because we've earned that respect. Through billions of years of evolution. Through millions of years of survival. Through thousands of years of civilization. Through decades of reaching beyond our planet. We've proven ourselves. Again and again. We're not victims. We're victors. Not because we're safe. But because we refuse to be defeated. So yes, the universe is trying to kill us. Yes, everything is hostile. Yes, we're fragile and temporary and doomed in the long run. But right now, in this moment, we're alive. We're conscious. We're aware. We're here. And that's our victory. That's our triumph. That's our middle finger to the cosmos. We exist. Despite everything. Because of everything. In defiance of everything. And that's beautiful. That's meaningful. That's enough. The universe might hate us. But we love being alive. And as long as we do, as long as we fight, as long as we refuse to surrender, we win. Every single day we survive, we win. Every single moment we experience, we win. Every single time we choose meaning over despair, hope over nihilism, love over indifference, we win. The universe is vast and old and powerful. But we have something it doesn't have. We have consciousness. We have purpose. We have meaning. We have each other. And that makes us unstoppable. Not invincible. Not immune to harm. But unstoppable. Because no matter what the universe throws at us, we keep going. We keep trying. We keep fighting. That's the story. From A to Z. Why the universe hates us. And why we don't care. Why we survive anyway. Why we thrive anyway. Why we matter anyway. You exist in the most hostile environment imaginable. And yet you're here. Reading this. Thinking. Feeling. Being. That makes you a warrior. A survivor. A miracle. A piece of the universe that woke up and decided to fight back. So don't despair. Don't give up. Don't let the hostility of the cosmos make you think you don't matter. You do matter. You matter more than you know. You're part of the greatest battle ever fought. The battle between entropy and order. Between chaos and consciousness. Between the void and the light. And you're on the winning side. Because you're still here. Still fighting. Still refusing to die. And as long as we do that, as long as we persist, the universe hasn't beaten us. It might hate us. But we're still here. And we're not going anywhere. Not without a fight. Not without making our mark. Not without screaming into the void that we existed, we mattered, we were here. The universe is hostile. Life is fragile. Death is inevitable. And we don't care. We live anyway. We love anyway. We create anyway. We persist anyway. Because that's what humans do. That's what consciousness does. That's what life does. We refuse to be beaten. We refuse to be erased. We refuse to go quietly into that dark night. We rage. We fight. We endure. And in doing so, we make the universe itself beautiful. We make it meaningful. We make it worth existing in. The universe might hate us. But we're teaching it to love us. One day at a time. One victory at a time. One moment of consciousness at a time. And that's the real story. Not that the universe hates us. But that despite that hatred, or maybe because of it, we've become something incredible. Something precious. Something that makes the universe itself richer for having created us. We are the universe's greatest creation. Its proudest achievement. Its most beautiful accident. And the fact that it's trying to kill us just makes our survival that much more meaningful. So live. Fight. Create. Love. Persist. Because you're part of something bigger than yourself. Something cosmic. Something eternal, even if we're not. You're part of the story of consciousness in the universe. And that's the greatest story ever told. The universe hates us. And we love it anyway. That's the paradox. That's the beauty. That's the truth. And that's why we matter. That's why we'll always matter. No matter what happens. No matter how long we survive. No matter how this story ends. We were here. We were conscious. We were alive. And we made it mean something. That's our victory. That's our legacy. That's our triumph. And nothing, not even the universe itself, can take that away from us. The end.